Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome in. Today I am going to show you how to add a glow to your pages. So if you're interested in that, stick around. Okay, y'all, today we're going to be working in Kirby Rosanes Dark Fairy Tales, and we are going to do one of the Red Riding Hood pages. And the idea for this page actually was by accident, because the last video that I did, I think it was called like love bombing color books or something like that, and I showed this page in that video, but I wanted this page to also be the thumbnail. So I took a picture of, well, a screenshot of the video, on one part of the video, and I started messing with the contrast and the filters and stuff like that on the picture, and it showed me, I'll put a picture of the thumbnail up right here, and I got it to look like this very glowy looking page. So I was like, I'm going to replicate that. So that's what we're doing here today. And we're going to be using some weird color combos here. Combos that you wouldn't think to use together. But let's get started on, let me show you what I'm doing here. So the idea for this is to make everything that you see that's not colored here, everything is going to be colored with this purple and orange color. And it's going to give it this, as you can see already, it's giving it this like sinister look, if you will. But it's dark, but it's glowing at the same time. And I said in my previous video that I kind of wanted it to have this kind of vibe. And what I did with this one is I took purple watercolor paint and painted the whole thing first, and then I colored over the top of it. But I did not do this here. The dark here that you see, I am going to show you what I've used on the rest of the page. I've been using the Gansai Tambi graphite colors and the Gansai Tambi sumi colors. You don't need this. And I used some of the grabby watercolors, the autumn one. You don't need the watercolors to achieve this look. But that's what you're seeing right here in the background. But what you will need is, I'm going to put the colors down here. I'm going to try to be good at editing and put the colors up here as I'm using them, but I can't promise that I'm going to do that. But these are our color combos. We've got PC 1008 Parma Violet, which is this one. And then we've got PC 956 Lilac, this one. We've got PC 1033 Mineral Orange. This is one of the best colors in the Prismacolor. And PC 940 Sand. So yes, we are blending orange and purple together. I did want to mention that I have used two other Prismacolors on this page. And that's the PC 1095 Black Raspberry. I've used it here on her clothing, over here, and the gruesomeness over here. And I also used it over here in the apples. And then I have also used Artichoke PC 1098, and that is in here just for some shadow and contrast. But I thought I might mention that as well. But I think we're going to start over here on the dresser here. And if you see, we've got what I want to be make it look like the illusion that blood is dripping down from this axe. This is all the grabby watercolors. You don't have to do this, but I just wanted to let you know what it is. But we're going to start out with the dark. I always start with the dark and go to the light. So this is PC 1008. And because Kirby shows you where the shadows are supposed to be, he makes it easier. But we're going to start where the shadows are. Lightly. Always be gentle with your pencils. But we're just going to start here. And yeah, this is an odd color combo, but it totally works for what I'm trying to achieve here. And like I said, it was kind of an accident because I did not intend this page to be this way at the beginning. But once I saw, after messing around with the photo with the filters, I was like, I want to make this page look like this. And I just think all the rest of the colors that are on the page are just gonna pop out, you know. So we've got one layer of that one. Then we're gonna go to our Lilac PC 956. Color right over the top of that. We're layering. We're still layering, even though the color combo is a little odd. We're still layering lightly. We want to bring that out just a little bit. You see, I've done it down here too. Okay, we've got the purple down. Now we're going to go to the orange. You got to be a little more careful with the orange. This is, again, Mineral Orange, PC 1033. We're not going to go all the way over top of the purple because we're going to create mud if we do that. So we're going to go right to the edge of it. Lightly, light layers. We're going to get some of that orange in there. And in some places, it's going to be really dark, like you see right here. That's okay. We want this whole page, everything that's not colored, to be colored with this color combo. Just go right from the edge of your lighter purple, going more and more into the middle. And then the last color, which is our sand, PC 940. We're going to go over top of the orange, but not the purple. Because orange and yellow mesh well together. So we're going to go over top of that and fill in the rest of the white space. I hope all this makes sense. Are you seeing what I'm laying down here? Seeing what's happening? This is not a great area actually to do this. I'm going to do it on the ceiling too. It might be a little easier to see. But we're going to put this orange again because we've already got the two purples down. Don't take all of the light, but use some of it. Just at the edge. And you're going to go over this how many ever times you need to get the look you're looking for. But now we're going to take our sand and we're just going to color over that little knob there too. Because what's giving off the glow is this light here. We want to give the illusion that this light is giving this whole luminance of the room and the fire. The light and the fire are going to give that glowy look. So that's what we're trying to achieve here. And then we'll do it one more time on this little piece of a drawer that's showing over here with your orange. You're always lightly. Don't be heavy-handed with this because it's not going to blend correctly if you get too heavy-handed with it. But this whole thing is going to be like that. But I want to show you a bigger area. Like if you notice, I even colored their skin is in this combination. And this whole thing is just going to look like she's just lit. So we can start with, again, the darker color, Parma Violet. Let's go up to the light, or up to the ceiling. Now back in these corners, it is going to be pretty dark, and you see that Kirby has given us the shadow in his illustration of where this needs to be dark and where the light is coming from. And I did just kind of take the orange and highlight some of this so I would know that's where I want that light to be. That's why you see orange on here. But right at the edges, and it, yeah, as I've said, this is typically not a color combination that I would be using, but for this effect, it does work. And I'm going to keep going over this to get that dark contrast right here, because we want this to be dark. Because it obviously is some sort of little cabin or something like that. So this is where the logs would meet each other. There's going to be some darkness. And down here it's going to be darker because some of this is the wall right here that I forgot to paint. I'm just gonna make that purple. But it's gonna be darker here because these looks like antlers, I don't know. But that's gonna give off a little bit of darkness. It's hard to get right in the middle there. We're not gonna worry too much about that. But we see how purple that is. We're going to use the lilac next. Go right over top of the darker purple that you just used, because these colors complement each other. Just come down a little bit more. Don't take up all the light, because we want to make sure that we leave enough for the glow. Now, because this is right on top of this, it's gonna be pretty deep in the orange and the yellow like this is, because it's so close to it. Over in here, you could make it more purple. But just lightly. And I'm usually going over this at least twice, at least 2 layers. But for the sake of the video, you know, I don't think you want to stick around and watch me color 3 or 4 layers of the exact same thing. So We've got that. Now we've got our orange, mineral orange, PC 1033. And not over top of the purple, right at the edge of it, because we don't want to create mud. Lightly. I know I keep saying that, but if you're used to pressing really hard on your pencils, you just got to keep reminding yourself, lightly, lightly. The pigment will come out. But we're going to take up more of the white space with this orange, creating the glow. These colors contrast each other. They're opposite each other on the color wheel, and that's why they do this. I'm not going to pretend like I understand everything about color theory, but that part, I know. Now this is a good color combination for a page, a color palette. Purple and orange do look good together, but you usually don't blend them together. But I've done this before, of taking a picture of one of my coloring pages after I've started it and messed around with the contrast and the filters and stuff and gotten it to look really awesome, and then tried to replicate that. And we've got our orange down there. Now we're going to use the sand PC 940, and we're going to go over top of the orange and fill in the rest of the light. And this page is going to look so awesome when I'm done, because you just have to imagine the whole thing now. Everything that is not colored, as I said before, everything that's not colored is going to be this color combination. And this is just one layer here. Get that little light with the yellow. I think you get the picture, right? The whole ceiling's gonna be this way. Everything's gonna be this way. I'm gonna do a little bit more, speed you up just to give you a little, you know, feel of what the ceiling's gonna look like, and then I'll come back. Okay, y'all, I think that you get the gist of what is going on and what the vision is. Have y'all ever used this color combination? Do you usually use purple and orange together? I do not, but I did want to show what I'm going to do with some of the finishing touches with the page. Because over here, as I said, I used the Grabby Autumn colors, and I used the berry or the burgundy, I don't remember which one, for this like blood splatter dripping deal. But I want to, because let me show you another page that I did. This one, the Wizard of Oz. This page over here just reminded me of that because it's got the axe, and everywhere that I portrayed that there was blood, I put glitter on that. And I don't know if you can see that. I think you can. But I want to do the same thing with this. So I'm going to use Mod Podge Extreme Glitter. And that's what it looks like. It looks like it's white, but it does dry clear. I just got a little brush. And I'm not going to do it to all of them, because normally I would not do this until everything around it's colored. But I just wanted to show y'all. And you can see I'm picking up some of that paint, which is interesting. But it won't matter, because it will, when it dries, it will be very sparkly. Get some of that off of there. Don't want to waste it. But it'll get very sparkly as it dries. And I'm going to do that over here, right here. And I'm probably going to add a little something here. Let's just do that. Just a little sparkle down the wall. Just to bring your attention to it, in case you don't notice the massive wolf leg hanging on the wall. But that, y'all, is how I create a glow on my pages. I hope y'all try this out. Hope it works for you. The trick is to make all, if not the majority, as I'm going to do, you see that there's a lot left to color. The majority of the page needs to be your color combination. So you're working with very few colors here. And you don't have to just use purple and orange. You could use like red and blue. And, you know, you're going to get you would have some pinks in there and some light blues, because you want your shadow and your contrast of those colors. You could use red, green, red, blue, blue, orange. It's endless of what you could do with this. But the trick is, as I said, to make the majority, if not all of the page, just that color combination. So that'll take the guessing work out of a palette for your page, if you want to try that. But if you made it in the video for this long, I appreciate you very much. Let me know down in the comments if you are going to try this, or if you have tried something like this. And I hope that you have a wonderful morning or afternoon or evening, or wherever you are in the world when you're listening to this. Until next time, y'all.